What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mythology, the show where we get higher than Huaneng, taking his chariot up to Mount Tabor? Taebaek. Ooh, wow. And we tell you guys silly stories from mythology and folklore.
Taebaek.
Yeah. Taebaek. Yeah, he's thinking that mountain to get baked. Mount baked as fuck.
I'm gonna make a shinchi.
Gonna make a shinchi up in this bitch. We tell you guys silly stories from mythology and folklore. Tonight, we will be bringing you guys some Korean mythology. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interested to hear it. I'm a story virgin, like you guys going into this. I don't know the
you
story.
did hear one story.
I guess I did hear a story. I heard a bit of a story. I've had just the tip. But it's because I've got just the tip of the story.
I have such a hard time finding anything like Korean mythology that I can.
They keep their shit locked down. They keep their shit locked down,
you know
hardcore.
What I mean? So I had to scour some shit and read like a lot of books, but
it's
I
like
can't present them to you.
The Korean copyright law is go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the copyright law? When can we talk about these things? Go
Never.
Fuck yourself is what my response is. Yeah. So we're gonna jump into some Korean mythology. We got some stories here. And as usual, Kimbo's going to tell them to you, and I'm probably going to just sit over here and crack a bunch of jokes.
Thank you.
So enjoy the story time. Without further ado, Kimbo, go ahead and take it away.
Okay. Thank you. There are many different versions of this, but they all come down to the same thing, where there is the... Okay, so this one that we're going to tell is Hwanin, the Lord of Heaven, had a son named Hwanong. In other places, his name is Heiso and Homotsu. Anyway, Hwanong begged his father to let him go to Earth, for he yearned to see the lush valleys and great mountains, and was also greatly saddened to see all the evil in the hearts of people. His father agreed and sent him along with 3,000 helpers to live and work for the benefits of all humankind. A lot of them were singers and dancers, I hear.
Here's Cirque du Soleil. Take this with you.
It was literally like a fucking block party coming down from the heavens.
It's coming down 3,000 people. I want to go check out the earth. Okay, I'll permit it, but you have to take 2,099 of my friends.
Hwanong descended onto Mount Taebaek and founded the city called Shinchi, the city of gods, together with the minister of clouds, the minister of rain, and the minister of wind. Wait, it should be the Earl of Wind. Sorry.
I like the titles they give them. I really like that switch up there.
Okay. It was just so random. I remember that one.
The Minister of Rain, that's a government position.
Yeah, he just took them all with him. They formed laws, moral codes, and taught the humans about art, medicine, and how to till the land. It was on this mountain that a tiger and bear prayed to Hwanong to become human. Hwanong heard their prayers and called them to come before him. He gave them each a bundle of mugwort and 20 cloves of garlic, and ordered the animals to eat only the sacred food, avoiding sunlight for 100 days. The bear and the tiger obeyed, and Hwanong went into a cave. After a short while, the tiger became hungry and impatient and decided to leave the cave. But the bear had patience and remained. And after 21 days, the bear came out of the cave and transformed into a beautiful woman. She was very grateful to Hwanong and gave many offerings. Yeah.
She gave many offerings.
After some time passed, and unable to find a husband, she grew sad and lonely. She prayed under a saddlewood tree to be blessed with a child. Honong was moved by her sincere prayers and took her as his wife, and she gave birth to a son. As the grandson of heaven, his name was Tangun, meaning altar prince. As Tangun grew, he became wise and a powerful leader, eventually succeeding Honong as king. And Tangun went to Pyongyang and founded Konchoson Kingdom in 2333 BC. At the old age of 1,908.
Oh, man. Yeah.
He finally returned to Mount Taebaek and became a mountain god. And to this day, Tangun is believed by many to be the legendary founder or father in both North and South Korea, and is honored with statues and a national holiday.
Nice.
So there's a lot to that story, actually. There's many different things that happen.
There's many different layers. Yeah. Now, VH1's Behind the Story. Good musical interlude. You look stuck on.
Sorry.
Yeah. Whatever became of the tiger? Do we ever hear what happened to the tiger?
He took off and went to go get food.
He took off.
He wanted some McDonald's.
He wanted some Mickey D's.
It's like, I can't give up these chicken nuggets.
I can't give up these chicken nugs.
Fuck the mugwort and the 20 cloves of garlic.
Yeah. Tired of being in this cave with you, bear.
So I'm going to just repeat this story kind of a little bit different.
Okay, the remix.
I want to go fast. In Korea, there are a few creation myths that start from the beginning and the very beginning. In a few oral traditions, a primal chaos exists until unexpectedly a crack appears separating the earth from sky. But these myths, those that survive, are not the colorful, intricate histories of the Theogony or the Enuma Elish. Eilish, whatever. Korea's most treasured myth is the one of its own creations from an existing earth and the humans already living upon it. This is the myth of Tangun. The story goes that a heavenly prince, Hwangan, looked down at the earth and desired to possess it, and ruled over mankind. His father, the ruler of heaven, Hwanin, knew that his son would bring happiness to human beings, and looking at the earth, chose Mount Taebaek as a suitable place for his son to go to earth. Hwangan arrives beneath a saddlewood tree, where he creates a holy city. He brings with him 3 heavenly seals, somewhat mysterious in nature, and 3,000 loyal subjects from heaven, which are possibly spirits. In addition, Hwangan brought 3 ministers, the Earl of Wind, the Master of Rain, and the Master of Clouds. Different accounts of this myth tell that Hwangan either taught or took charge of 360 areas of responsibilities, like agriculture and medicine. The story moves to now a bear and a tiger, both desiring to become human beings, set the task of shunning sunlight and eating only the food given to them by Hwangan. Some mugwort and some cloves.
Some cloves of garlic.
The bear succeeds in earning Hwangan's approval, while the tiger fails to fast. Fleeing into the forest, the bear becomes a beautiful woman, Ungyong, I don't know, and becomes the wife of Hwangan, and their son Tangun, the king of Saddlewood.
I'm the king of Saddlewood.
Tangun becomes the first king of Korea, calling his country the Chosun, and ruling for 1,500 years. After this time, he retreats to Taebaek and becomes a mountain god. Though the myth of Tangun begins with an early existing earth, it still bears some resemblance to the later portions of other creation myths, like Marduk in the Enuma Elish. Hwangan descends to earth to create a paragon of cities, the city of gods. And like the Enuma Elish and the Theogony, the parentage of the historic king Tangun is very important, as with Marduk, and Zeus. In other ways, the myth is very different, having a scholarly air in the contrast to the violence and the melodrama of the other myths.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a claptrap.
Thank you.
Yeah. Interesting. Two different versions.
Yes.
And still, even in the different version, the tiger could not resist the Mickey D's.
Nope.
Yeah.
Still went for it.
Yeah.
Thought it was in the woods.
Now, I believe in the second version, it was a Jack in the Box.
3 rivers down.
And it was curly fries, not chicken nugs.
Was it? I think he was after those jalapeno poppers.
Jalapeno poppers and $2 tacos.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We are not sponsored, by the way, but Jack, if you would like to sponsor us.
I think this is the one I like the most. Yes. Yes, it is. Because it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
It just cracks me up. I can't help it. So these are the only 2 stories I can actually find information for you guys on them. So it's going to get real weird in the next story.
It's real weird.
I hope you like my analysis, my summaries of the stories.
Yeah.
The Legend of King Tongnong.
King Tom.
King
Tom Young.
In the 3rd year of Shen Shu's of Han, in early summer, when the great bear stood, the serpent Hemosu came to Korea. A true son of heaven, he came down through the air in a 5-dragon chariot with a retinue of hundreds, robes streaming, riding on swans. Motherfuckers. The atmosphere echoed loudly with chiming music, and banners floated on the tinted clouds.
Swan riders, assemble!
From ancient times, men ordained to rule have come down from heaven, but in daylight he came from the heart of the sky, a thing never seen before.
Ancient goddamn aliens, yes.
In the morning, he dwelt among the men. In the evenings, he returned to his heavenly palace. The ancients have told us that between heaven and earth, the distance is 2,000 billion and 18,780 rye.
Wait, is that grains of rice?
I think so.
That is an interesting way to measure something.
A scaling ladder could not reach so far.
We are very meticulous in our measurements.
Flying pinions could not bear the strain, yet morning and evening he went and returned at will. By what power could he do it?
By what power, you ask?
He was a fucking son of heaven. Of course he could do it.
Son of heaven.
North of the capital was the Green River. Got one of those in Washington, too. Killer to go with it.
And that was a man there who was murdered. Oh, no, wrong Green River.
It's also called the Ubal River, I think. If my memory serves me right. Where the river Earls, 3 beautiful daughters rose from the drake neck green waves to play in the bear's heart pool. Their jade ornaments twinkled. Their flower-like beauty was modest. They might have been fairies of the Han River banks or goddesses of the low river inlets. Who knows? The king, out hunting, espied them, was fascinated, and lost his heart. Not just from lust for the girls, of course, but from eagerness to desire an heir. I'm pretty sure you're just talking with you.
Wait. He did not do it because he was lustful. He also did it because he wanted to put babies in them women.
The 3 sisters saw him coming, and they plunged into the water to flee. So the king prepared a palace to hide in it until they came back. So he literally fucking makes a palace.
I imagine one of those little children's like cardboard castle. It's like 6 feet high, just peeking over the edge. This is my fortress. You can't come in.
Wait, I'll give you some good visuals. He traced foundations with a riding whip. A bronze palace suddenly towered. Silk cushions were spread, bright and elegant, golden goblets twisted with fragrant wine, and soon 3 maidens saw it. And they came in and they were like, oh, where is this? Okay, I have to stop here. And like, so they just skip this part here. So they come in there and they're like, whoa, I've never seen this fucking palace before. And like, they just come in and they see like a whole fucking feast prepared out for them. They're like, no, should we eat it? They're like, no, yeah, we should. This is definitely not a fucking trap, right? Right? This is like definitely a mouse trap, you know, with the cheese in the center.
Does this kimchi taste like roofies to anybody else?
Exactly. They're fucking idiots. Anyway. Soon the 3 maidens came in and toasted each other until they were drunk. Then the king emerged from hiding and the startled girls ran, and some of them tripped and stumbled onto the floor.
Oh my God, I'm so drunk.
The oldest was Willowflower, and it was she whom the king caught.
Oh, Jesus. It's just a fun game of... No, that's rape.
Nah, he never touched her, actually. It was pretty... They're very modest people. He was like, you're so beautiful, I want to fucking marry you. Will you please marry me? She's like, okay.
Okay. I'm so drunk right now.
Exactly. Is that Bruno Mars?
Let's go to Taco Bell.
The Earl of the River was raged in anger and sent speedy messengers to demand, what rogue are you who dares behave so presumptuously?
What the fuck, bro?
Himosu tells him that he's the son of the heavenly emperor, and he was asking for the noble daughter's hand. He beckoned to the heavens, and the dragon car came down, and straightway he moved onto the ocean palace, where the river earl admonished him, saying, marriage is a weighty matter, needing go-betweens and gifts. Why have you not done these things? If you are God's own heir, prove your powers as transmutation.
Bruh, check out my dragon car. I'll bring 30 motherfuckers on geese right now.
So it's pretty true. Back then, if you wanted to marry the higher ups, you would have like a little messenger go to the
Oh yeah, it was like a business deal.
Yeah.
It was like buying a house. Now it's like we set down our down payment.
That is actually still what's happening.
We've got our lawyers negotiating terms.
Tradition, so it's not my place.
We said we would do it, but they got to fix his busted grill first.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, yeah, the River Earl is pretty pissed about him, like, just capturing the daughter instead of sending a messenger.
Yeah. There's messengers to go through. There's hurdles we have to go. There's, like, 30 contracts we have to sign. As goats, we haven't even gotten into goat law yet, you know.
No, they're about the dragons.
What, you just going to scare me just because you got some homies on geese?
No, they have a shit ton of dragons in their mythology. I love it. And they're all like water dragons too, so they're not even like actual elemental dragons and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Anyway. Through the rippling, flowing green waters, the River Earl leapt, transforming into a carp. The king at once...
Boom! Goldfish! Bitch ass!
The king at once turned into an otter and seized the carp before it could flee. The earl then sprouted wings, flying upwards, transformed into a peasant. Pheasant. Of all the birds. But the king was a golden eagle and struck like a great bird of prey.
I should have picked a better bird.
The earl sped away as a stag, and the king pursued as a wolf.
God damn it, why didn't I think of that? Why does he always think of the better thing?
The earl then confessed that the king was divine and poured wine, and they drank to the contract.
Now let us drink before I turn into something cooler than something you can turn into.
Sperm whale.
A sperm whale.
Any water nearby?
Yeah. Anyone? Yeah, just on the land. I'm gonna need help here. Gonna need help.
How about a dolphin?
Dolphin.
The Earl. Oh wait, where am I? Sorry. I was one line up. Sorry, my brain. When the king was drunk, he was put into a leather bag and set beside the girl in his chariot. I then set off with her to rise to the heavens together. But the car had not left the water before Himosu woke from his stupor and, seizing the girl's golden hairpin, pierced the leather and slid out through the hole, alone to mount the car beyond the crimson cloud. All was quiet. He did not return.
Oh, where's our whomper? Fell out of the car, man. You flew too close to the sun, Icarus.
What happened? So the whole time, the Earl of the River is fucking pissed. He was like, he hated what he did. So Himosu was not used to drinking human wine yet, so he got drunk real fucking fast. It did not take long. And so he threw him in a bag, took his daughter and put him on the fucking chariot with him, and then he's freaked out, like as they're like lifting over the water.
Uh-huh.
And he like takes his sword and cuts open the bag, and as he's like trying to open the bag, he knocks his new wife out of the chariot and she falls back down, and he just keeps going. Doesn't look back.
Never look back. That's my motto.
Keep going.
I'm sorry, I can't turn around.
He never comes back. I was like,
can't turn around. I'll send a goose guy.
Okay. So the River Earl punished his daughter by stretching her lips 3 feet long.
Jesus.
And throwing her into the Ubal stream with only 2 maidservants. This one, that's what I've read before. The fishermen saw them in the eddies, creatures disporting themselves strangely, and reported the fact to King Konwa.
What the fuck is that swimming over there? It looks like a lady with 3-foot-long lips.
An iron net was set in the torrent, and the woman was trapped on a rock, a monster of shocking appearance, whose long lips made her mute. So this is true. Like, the fishermen like saw it, and they were like, "What the fuck is that?" And they go tell the king about it, and the king's like, "I want to see this. Bring it here." And so they go back to try and catch it, and they bring like an iron net and like just catch her, and they're like, "What the fuck is this thing?"
Yeah. What the hell are you? And she's like,
and then she's like brought before the king, and the king's like, "Oh, you poor thing."
Here's your big old floppy lips.
3 times.
Just dangling there, just flopping around.
She can't even move them. She's mute. 3 times they were trimmed before she could speak.
That's not how lips work, but okay, I'll allow it.
King Konwa recognized Himosu's wife and gave unto her a palace where she might live. The sun shone on her breast, and she bore Chumong. So it was said that he didn't really know who the fuck she was, but he was like, she's pretty fucking cute, and I kind of feel bad for her. Here's an apartment, anything you could ever want. And anytime she would walk into the sun, she would glow. Like some fucking Twilight Robert Patterson
the
shit.
Sun shone on her. Every time I pull out my titties, choir music starts. Oh!
And then they found out she's pregnant.
Hey, you pregnant girl.
Don't even know how the fuck that happened. Yeah. Well, she drank too much.
What happens in the bag stays in the bag. Himosu out!
I mean... And there's like a lot more to this. Okay, so
all of a sudden it doesn't sound like he accidentally knocked his wife out of the car.
So she gave birth to a giant egg.
It happens.
And everyone was like fucking freaked out. So the king took it and threw it into the pig's nest. But the pigs wouldn't fucking eat it. So he threw it into the pasture, but none of the animals would walk on it. They avoided it, and then so he threw it in the forest, and all the birds shielded it. And so he's like, what the fuck? And so he brings it back and starts using every fucking tool possible to break this egg, and it doesn't work. And so he just gives it back to her. He's like, here you go.
Here you go.
I tried to kill it. Sorry.
I tried. I wanted scrambled eggs.
So she took the egg and she put it in the sunniest part of the room that she was in. And like less than a minute, the fucking egg cracked open and out came this little beautiful little baby boy named Chumong.
Chumong.
Which means good archer, if I'm correct.
He's a good archer.
His form was wonderful, his voice of mighty power. He was born from a pottled-sized egg that frightened all who saw it. The king thought it auspicious, monstrous, and inhuman, had put it into the horse corral, but the horses took care of it and not to trample it. It was thrown down steep hills, but the wild beasts all protected it. Its mother retrieved it and nurtured it till the boy hatched.
I like how it says its voice was strong. Imagine it after hatching, just looking at his grandpa. What's up, bro?
Right?
I am your grandson, and I have come to claim my throne.
Okay, I never noticed this one. His first words were, "The flies are nibbling my eyes. I cannot lie and sleep in peace."
The flies are nibbling my eyes. I cannot sleep in peace.
His mother made him a bow and arrows, and he never missed a shot. Years passed, and he grows up, getting cleverer every day. And the crown prince of Puyo began to grow jealous, saying, "This fellow Chumong is redoubtable warrior. If we do not act soon, he will become trouble later." So the king sent Chumong to tend the horses to test his intentions. And Chumong meditated, "For heaven's grandson to be a mere herdsman is an unendurable shame."
Is that his adolescent voice? He grew out of the deep voice.
Yes, it's going to get more feminine. Yeah. Searching his heart, he sought the right way. "I had rather die than live like this. I would go southward, found a nation, build a city, but for my mother, whom it is hard to leave." His mother heard his words and wept, but wiped her glistening tears. She would say, "Never mind about me. Rather I feel for your safety. A knight setting out on a journey needs a trusty stallion." Together they went to the corral and thrashed the horses with long...
What the fuck, bro?
The terrified animals milled about, but one horse, a beautiful bay, leapt over the 2-fathom walls and proved itself best of the herd.
It stood up and gave him the middle finger.
And bounced.
Like, yeah, right here, buddy. You want to thrash me? I'll fucking fight.
It's better. They fixed a needle in his tongue that stung him so he would not eat. In a day or two, he wasted away and looked like a worn-out jade.
What the fuck, bro?
When the king came around to inspect, he gave the horse to Chumong, who took it, removed the needle, and fed the horse well day and night. Then he made a compact with 3 friends who were men of wisdom, and they set off south until they reached but could find no ferry to cross the big river.
No ferries available.
Chumong raised his whip to the sky and uttered a long, sad complaint. "Grandson of heaven, grandson of the river, I have come here in flight from danger. Look on my pitiful orphaned heart."
He's just so overly dramatic.
"Heaven and earth, have you cast me off?" Sorry. Gripping his bow, he struck the water. Fish and turtles hurried heads and tails together to form a great bridge, which the friends at once traversed. Suddenly, pursuing troops appeared and mounted the bridge, but it melted away.
I don't know how that would work in the first place.
Gotta
be some big-ass turtles and some big-ass fish.
It said, I don't know, it said it was just wide enough for like one way from one side to the other. I don't know how it works either.
Cross my fish bridge.
A pair of doves brought barley in their bills, messengers sent by the mysterious mother. He chose a site for his capital, aimed the mountains and streams in the thick wooded hills. Seating himself on the royal mat as King Tongmong, he ordered the ranks of his subjects. Alas for Song Yang, the king of Pairu.
Are the subjects just the three dudes that he brought with him? He founded a new capital, and then he talked to his subjects, and it's just the same three guys that were there with him. Like, yeah, dude.
So, King of Paiyu asked Tongmong to be his vassal, uttering rash demands, but could not hit the painted deer's navel, and was amazed when...
Okay, I feel like we're cutting the lead here.
All right, okay. So, he finds this fucking place.
He could not reach the painted deer's navel.
This is a dope ass fucking place. I know, I just now realized that it's missing so much. I'm like, okay, I must have accidentally deleted a paragraph or two. So he goes out, he's like, this is a chill place. And then, like, these other dudes were out hunting, and it turns out it was the king of Paiyu or some shit, Pairu. And they were like, all right, this is my land. And he's like, no, I'm going to be a fucking king here. Chongmeng was like, nah, who now goes by Tongmeng. He's like, no, I'm king here now. This is all my shit now. Get off my land.
Get off my land.
Pretty much.
Beat it, loser.
And the king of Pairu was like, well, this is interesting. Well, let's have a fucking archery competition instead. And so, like, he, like, tried to shoot something that was, like, I think 300, 400 feet away, and he shot it point blank in the deer's navel. And so they were like, well, that's just a lucky shot. Here, put this jade ring all the way over here. Same spot on a deer. Like, they just put the ring on the antler for some reason.
Imagine a deer with just a jade belly button ring.
And he shoots that thing and breaks the jade fucking amulet. And he was like, whoa. Fuck you, I'm out. It's my kingdom still. Get off.
Get off. This is my kingdom. I said beat it, loser. Before I shoot your belly button ring.
Yeah.
Just the poor deers just getting shot in their navel, belly button.
And so, okay, here we go. Okay. Back to where we are. Sorry. No. Okay, there we go. Sorry. It accidentally moved the whole page. I was like, no. Okay. Tongmong. Okay. Jumong, or whatever, is now Tongmyong. Went hunting in the west and caught a tall, snow-white deer and strung it up by its hind feet at Haywan and produced a great malediction. Okay, so he tied up this fucking... sorry. He ties up this really beautiful white deer that's clearly blessed by the gods, apparently. Mm. And he, like, threatens to kill it every day and yells at the gods, is like, if you don't fucking send a great rain to fucking flood all of the king of Pairu.
Pairu shit. A dick to that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's like, you literally just came in and claimed my kingdom. And then I let it go because you shot the deer in the belly button. And that seemed odd. I don't know who put the belly button rings on the deer, but I saw one with a lower back tattoo and some jorts on.
It's called a cutie mark.
It's called the cutie, yeah. Deer spring break.
2015.
2015, yeah. Show your navels.
Yeah, so every day the deer cried with great sounds so piteous that they reached the ears of heaven. And from that horrible music of the deer, a great rain fell for 7 days, and the floods came like Huai joined with Shu. Song Yang was frightened and anxious. He had thick ropes stretched by the waters, and the knights and peasants struggled to clutch them, sweating and gasping in fear. Then Tongmyong took his whip and drew the line at which the waters stopped. Song Yang submitted, and thereafter was no argument. He is now king.
Just like, okay, I'm fucking over it, dude. I'm over it. You know, I didn't even really want the job. I inherited it. You could have just asked me.
Yeah, he's funny. Then Tong Myung took his whip. Oh, yeah, we did that. A dark cloud covered Falcon Pass. The crests of ridge were hidden, and thousands upon thousands of carpenters were heard hammering there. The king said, "Music from heaven is for me preparing. A great fortress upon yonder." Suddenly the mist dispersed, and the palace stood out high and splendid.
And splendid. And splendid.
Where Tong Myung ruled for 19 years, till he rose to the heavens and forsook his throne.
Yeah. I'll give up my throne only because I'm going to heaven.
All right, story 3.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
The story of Pyongyang.
Pyongyang.
All right. So I can't really find a whole lot of information about the story as far as a source for this. So I will summarize this story from what knowledge I have obtained from reading different historical books. This story starts out. There was once a shitty king that ruled for 4 years. Misusing his powers as king, just piss off whatever the fuck he wants to do. Ignores his people. And his name was fucking King Chinji.
Fucking Chinji over here.
One day, he heard of a smoking hot babe named Toa Rang. He wanted to marry her, but she was already married. So he begged her to be like his second husband, but she's like, dude, one is enough. No thanks.
No
so
thanks.
he's like, okay, then I'll wait here until he dies. Then you'll be my wife, right? And she's like, all right, but I gotta run it by my parents first.
I gotta run it by my parents first. Okay, after my husband dies, I'll marry you.
But
I gotta talk to my parents.
My mom and dad real quick. So a year later, King Chinji dies, and then Toa Rang's husband dies a year after the king. So after her husband dies, the ghost of King Chinji shows up at her bedside. You know, like, while she's sleeping, he's a creeping. He's like, yo, babe, you said you'd marry me when your husband died, so here I am.
You up?
Just watch it.
Hey, girl.
You want to get some butterfly poon?
You up?
And she's like, I gotta go talk to my parents first. So she does, and her parents are like, yo, he's a king. Totally up your station. Plus, you know, I don't see anyone else waiting in line to marry you.
Oh, sick burn, Mom. Sick burn.
She goes...
well, Mom, there's a ghost king trying to bang me. Well, it's better than, the no one that's trying to bang your ugly ass right now. So my failure of a daughter, I think you should maybe go for it.
So she goes back to the ghost of King Chinji, and she's like, okay, let's bone, I guess. Can we? And the ghost and her spend like 7 days and nights together. And then the ghost of King Chinji is like, I gotta go pick up a pack of smokes and a 6-pack. I'll be right back.
Oh, shit. I left something back at my place. I gotta bounce.
In the underworld, I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Oh, sorry. I don't have time to throw you a towel to clean up all the ectoplasm.
And, but yeah, he never comes back. And Toa Rang was pregnant. Her son's name was Pyong. Pyong.
What's his little name? Accident.
A one-night stand. A weeknight stand.
Yeah. Well, so there was a story about a ghost. Turns out you can bone a ghost.
So King Chinji's successor was named Chimpyong. Chimpyong. And he heard what happened and was like, yo, Toa Rang, a hot single mom, doesn't need to raise your baby alone. Come live with me and both of you will be taken care of. And she's like, dope dude, but no butt stuff.
No butt stuff.
Anyway.
But no butt stuff. That's where I draw the line. God damn it.
But anyway, when Pyong got older, he would disappear like every night and flew off to the west to dance with spirits by the stream on the slopes of a hill. And King Chipnyong was like, bro, there's a giant river that no one can get across in like Sinwon-sa. So tell your spirit buddies to go build me a bridge ASAP. So that night,
bridge.
Instead of dancing, Pyong and his spirit buddies made a bridge. And the king was like, bro, that's dope. Do any of your PC spirits want to like turn into a human and like help out around the palace and shit? And Pyong is like, yeah, stepdaddy. There's like one dude named Kildal, and he's like totally down to pound. I mean, help. I mean,
he will take you to Pound Town 3 ways from Sunday. No, I just having gone to parties before, especially fun nighttime parties. It's a silly thought to imagine that guy coming to a party. Everyone else is just like, well, you guys want to do the usual, dance naked around the giant fire in the moonlight. And the other guy's like, or you know what we could do? Let's build a bridge. It'll be fun and exciting. But I got all this acid. Well, I've got lumber.
All right, and then there's this other dude who couldn't have kids named Im Jong. And Im Jong adopted Kildal, the spirit dude, and they were happy.
They were happy. It was good. It was fun.
A lot of shit got done.
They had good times.
One day, Im Jong told his son to go to Gyeongno-sa temple and build a guard tower and sleep in it.
That sounds like one of those errands where it's like, I just want to get him out of the fucking house. Just go like west. Like 20 miles and build a guard tower and then, I don't know, fucking sleep in it or something. We got chores to do.
One night, Kildal did all this shit and then he was like, all right. One night, he turned himself into a fox and ran away.
Poof, ha, now I'm a fox.
Pyong heard about it and sent his spirit buddies after him to kill Kildal.
So what do you guys want to do? You want to take all these drugs and maybe drink and dance naked around the fire? Or I've got another idea.
Let's go murder our friend.
Let's go murder our friend, the fox.
So now, when spirits hear the name Pyong, they get scared. The end.
Yeah. But I got all these beers, but I got bath salts. Let's go murder a fox.
All right, story number 4.
We are continuing, carrying on. Story number 4.
Cho-young and the plague demon. Fuck, these stories are hard to find. So anyway, here's what I know. Here's what I've heard. In the times of King Honggang, everyone was happy and prosperous. One night, a giant storm loomed over the lands, and there was all this fog shit, and no one could see their hand in their face. Thick shit.
Thick shit. It was some thick shit.
King Honggang is like, well, I guess a great king dragon of the Eastern Sea is pissed about something. I guess I should build him a great temple in Keumpo. And so he does.
And he does.
And the dragon of the Eastern Sea is like, dude, that's dope. And he takes his 7 sons with him to inspect this temple and thank King Honggang. King Honggang is like, I hope you like this building. Do any of you want to come hang out and we can like drink and play beer and board games or some shit? And like the youngest son of the dragon king, Choyong, is like, yeah, man, I'll party with you. And he ends up crashing on King Honggang's fucking couch for years, free of charge. And then King Honggang's like, here, bro, I found you a pretty wife. And Choyong is like, super pleased and like,
sweet, bro.
Bros for life.
Bros for life.
Anyway, one day a plague demon disguised himself as a beautiful young man and seduces Cho-young's wife. Cho-young walks in on them in the middle of their dirty deed and then breaks out into song like some Disney shit.
And at last I see you fucking my wife. And it's right in front of me now. And it's like the
fog is lifted.
And what the fuck is that smell?
And the plague demon is forced to show his true form and tells Cho-young, Bro, I'm like so humbled by your passive aggressiveness.
I forgot the passive aggressive. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, sweet. You're fucking my wife. Do you want me to get you a beer or something? Maybe should I turn on a fan for you? You know, really, finish? Thank you for coming here and begging my wife.
Chaeyoung's like, bro, I'm like humbled by your passive aggressiveness. Yeah. Even though I just fucked your wife, I will never come into any home I see you in.
Yeah. And then I feel like that's a very passive aggressive response. Like, oh, I am so humbled.
He just breaks out in song. I'm serious. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not allowed to fucking tell you the song.
Yeah.
Because of copyright. But anyway, and that is why most Korean homes hang a picture of Chaeyoung in their homes, usually a picture by their bedroom door or hanging over the doorway entry.
Yeah, that way nobody's fucking your wife while you're over there at work. Last thing you want to do is come home and find a passive-aggressive fight demon fucking your wife.
That's why he is also, Chaeyoung becomes the god against smallpox.
The god against smallpox.
That's the plague demon was like smallpox.
Yeah, sure. Chlamydia.
And I think this is the last one. Story number 5.
Story number 5.
Kwachi and the god of the western seas. Here we go again. You ready?
Yeah.
When Queen Chinsong ruled Silla, she sent her youngest son, Yangpai, to Tang, China. She told him to take 50 of the best archers with him, and he did, as he was told. Good boy.
Good boy. Good boy.
When his great ship was in sight of their destination near the island of Kokto, a terrible storm arose, and try as the ship could, it sailed in place, never budging an inch. So Yangpai advisor is like, bro, there's like a sacred pond on like Kokoto Island, and we should go give it like all the treasure, and maybe the god of the pond will like let us go, you know? So they find the pond and start dumping all this fucking treasure into it one by one. Boom. And then the water of the pond threw like itself upwards and then splashed down, and everyone was like, is that it? Can we fucking go now? So they waited for a sign. And that night, Yangpai had a dream that an old man came to him and told him to leave one of his archers behind, and the storm will cease. So the archers drew their straws. And it was like a little wood peach, and they threw it into the water. And the lucky Kwachi was chosen to stay behind. As soon as he stepped foot on the island, the storm went away, and they were like, sorry, Kwachi. As soon as we're done in Tang, we'll like come back and scoop you up and take you home.
Bye.
So Kwachi like decided to explore the island, and he found the sacred pond and stared, and it started bubbling. Or no, he stared deeply into it. And then soon ripples started to appear. And they started to get more and more frequent, and then bubbles started to appear, and then more and more until it took the form of an old man. Kachi bowed before him, and the old man was like, yo.
Sup? Yeah.
I'm the god of the western seas, and I saw your ship coming this way full of archers, and I just couldn't pass up this opportunity. Every day, this bald little fucking dude, dressed as a monk, comes to chant at my pond. He like fucking summons my entire family and I, and then he takes one of my children and eats their fucking liver right in front of me. It's absolutely horrifying.
Jesus takes a turn. This old bald man who's really a horrific monster.
Then he fucks off, and I'm down to like my last kid. So I need you to come help me kill this fucking creature and save what's left of my family. Please.
Please.
And Kawachi's like, fuck dude, that's rough. Yeah, man, I'll help you.
Jeez.
So he takes cover in a tree, and after some time passes, the little bald dude shows up, and he came floating down from the sky and started chanting by the pond. Kawachi shot that fucker right in the heart, and it screamed in pain before it transformed into a fox and died.
I'm a fox now. Oh, was that the fox from the last...
Maybe. Yeah. The god of the western seas was so happy he gave his last child to him, saying she's not much, but she's got a smoking body just like her mom.
Just like her mom.
And Kachi's like, bro, that's all I need. And the god transforms his daughter into a flower so Kawachi can carry her around in his pocket like Thumbelina. And then he summons a dragon ship for Kawachi and sends him and his daughter on their way to catch up with Kawachi's homies in Tang. And then they have a massive party in Tang. And then when they return home, the flower turned into a hot piece of ass. And
Check
Queen,
it out. Pocket wife.
and Queen Chin Song saw to their wedding.
Queen Chin Song such a wedding.
Funny thing about Queen Chin Song actually is she only succeeded as queen in the real life after her two brothers mysteriously died of natural causes, they say.
Very natural. Well, it was natural.
So she was
there's a knife hanging out of him. Well, it's pretty natural that he would have got stabbed. He was kind of a dick. So
And, he fell on it, I think.
Dude, I back in those days, I'd almost consider that natural causes. Well, he was stabbed. Well, it's natural causes. I mean, he was an asshole, so he got stabbed. That's kind of a natural cause these days.
For real, right? That is.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I hope you all enjoyed that.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Tons of tales. I hope you like my take on it. I like that. I liked some of the takes there. I like the passive aggressive argument that those two guys had. Oh, phew, I won't even.
I am
don't
so
worry.
humbled by your passive aggressiveness.
I am so humbled by your passive aggressiveness. You know what? I won't even fuck your wife again.
When I was thinking about it, like I always envisioned him like Maui fucking around with the car. Hoo-yah, hoo-yah, hoo-yah. And just like fucking doing a weird dance with it. And just like the flip off shit. Oh, that's so passive aggressive. Thank you. I'm so humbled. Oh. I'm like, it looked more like an insult.
Yeah. Or maybe he was doing a very passive aggressive song about his wife getting fucked.
Maybe.
Why don't you just take my car too? Oh yeah. So damn.
I have a lot of references.
I don't even know where to begin here.
Just
references. Legend of Tangun, Top Gun. HYUNGJIN moon.com/legend-Tangyung. Arthur was Dr. Jin Preston Moon. Jin Preston Moon. Damn, that is a name.
Doctor
Jin Preston Moon to you.
It's actually a church.
Mr. Dr. Jin Preston Moon Jr.
It's a church in Korea.
Oh. Yeah. Damn. Jessica Goldberg and Peter H. Lee from their Korean Civilization Source Book, Volume 1, The Early Times of the 16th Century, New York, Columbia Press, 1993, University of Chicago Press, 1991. Jesus, you got me reading some information over here. Lifeinkorea.com. Apparently Koreans do not believe in unicorns.
Yeah, dude, like when I was looking up who that was, it just kept saying like there's an actual tomb of this king, and it's said to believe that he was buried with a unicorn. And all I saw were like a lot of fucking pictures of like Koreans do not believe in unicorns. And then like on page like 4, it was like Koreans do believe in unicorns. I was like, what the fuck?
Koreans do believe in unicorns. Mind blown.
I was like, this is the weirdest shit. But like his statues and shit is just him with his fucking horse. And it's normal. And it's got armor on.
Well, you never know if there's a horn on its head until you check it.
I guess. It's just a stub.
It's just a stub. He's got a stub horn.
It's like a deer. He like embedded it. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Keep going with those references.
Legend of Tongyang. It's a hard story to find, but it's the closest to what we know. Legends and Wisdom Stories. Legends-wisdoms.blogspot.com. 2009. Jesus. 04. LAY. Of Kings. Lay of Kings. Tongyang. HTML. All that good stuff. Choyoung and the Plain Demon is that supposed to be Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah. University of Hawaii Press, 1997. Did we do Pyongyang? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Tale of Pyongyang, folk currency stuff.
Last one. You got this.
Kotaji and the God of the Western Seas was the Duke University Press 1982 Journal of Korean Studies. That is all of our references, folks. All the million references. Kim was a soldier. Kimbo was a soldier on this one. She literally looked everywhere.
Yes.
To find you guys Korean mythology.
I've always wanted to. Like, I've only done it once, but...
Yeah, it's very hard
protected.
to find.
It's protected.
It's a lot of word
mythology.
of mouth. Yeah. A lot more stories passed orally.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, just like the stuff the Pike Demon. Just like the stuff the Pike Demon gave to that lady.
Hepatitis B.
Hepatitis B, passed orally. In her butthole.
In the butthole.
Yeah.
Orally into the butthole. Nice.
Into the butthole. Hope you folks enjoyed the stories tonight. Tune in next week. We'll have some more.
Indeed.
Be sure to check out our merch stores if you haven't already.
Yes, please.
Teespring.com.
Get those hoodies. Get those coffee mugs.
spring.com/high-mythology-merch. Yeah, get some cups, get some cool shit. Check
Buy
out
me
all
some
the
coffee.
other stuff on our store, too, because we got a ton of stuff.
So much stuff.
So much stuff.
All the cool stuff.
Yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.